Hello everyone, Happy New Year, good luck and good health. The data report for January 2025 has come out. What will happen to the Nanaimo housing market? Is it going up, down, or staying flat? Is it a buyer's market or a seller's market? Today, let's discuss what might happen in the future. Alright, let's jump right into the January data report. First up is the number of listings. There are a total of 109 units, which is a 1.8% increase compared to the same period last year, so it's basically flat. The sales volume is 53 single-family homes compared to last year. It's up by 32%. Is the average price going up or down? The average price is $848,000, which is 5% higher than the same period last year. We can see why. It means there are more buyers. The sellers are basically flat at 40, so of course the price will go up a little. And the other thing is, how many houses are there? There are 201 in total. 201 units compared with the normal 300 units is still a low number. So what is the month of inventory? It is 3.79 months. Well, that is to say, it is now a seller's market. If it lasts for 4 to 6 months, it will be a medium market, which is a relatively balanced market. Okay, then let's take a closer look at this data. First, let's look at the sellers. The number of sellers is basically the same as last year and this year, but I think there will be more sellers in February and March than in January, which is very normal. As for how much more, I personally think there will be a lot more. Why? There will be accumulation. The houses that were not sold last year or in the previous year, 2023, may be tried again this year because they were not easy to sell in the past few years. So this year, they may be launched on the market. So if you check the listings, you might find that some of these properties were actually on the market last year. They can quickly relist now. Another reason is just the normal market dynamics. So we have some buyers who want to downsize and move to apartments, like older folks relocating to apartments or even moving to other provinces. These sellers will gradually come onto the market as well. These buyers have never sold a house before. This is their first time selling, so they are often well prepared for this sale. You can definitely keep an eye on these good listings, which we refer to as well-prepared homes for sale. Alright, now let's look at the second piece of data, which is about buyers. The number of buyers has increased by 30%. You can really see that this has a positive effect on the market compared to the same period last year. Where can we see this? It's because mortgage rates continued to drop in January. This has helped some first-time home buyers to enter the market. Plus, if their parents help with the down payment, they might be able to buy some properties. Alright, that's the first point. The second point is that we see another type of buyer, the investment buyers, who currently aren't very active. They seem to be taking a wait-and-see approach. There hasn't been a very active interest in house hunting. Personally, I've asked some investors why they're not interested right now, and there are various reasons. I feel that the first reason is that things are quite uncertain right now. The tariffs might increase by 25%. It was mentioned that there could be a delay. So this situation is quite uncertain. If a 25% tax is imposed, then the cost of shopping at places like Costco and other living expenses will increase, and inflation will rise as well. For many ordinary people, this money just won't be enough. So, this is a big question mark. Secondly, there are a lot of new laws coming in this year, including something called a flipping tax. What is the flipping tax? It means that if you buy a property and flip it within 2 years, you have to pay this tax. Even if it's your primary residence, you are now required to pay an additional tax. This rule starts this year. But for these investors, there's even more concern. They think, if I buy a property and want to sell it in a year or two and the market improves, will I feel stuck? The third type is B&B. The new policy states that if you want to do B&B, you must use the property as your primary residence. So what are these investors thinking? I bought this house and I usually live in Vancouver. I come here in the summer to use it as a B&B. Now, basically you can't do this because you have to live in your own house. Then this idea came to my mind and I started to think, what should I do with investment? We must rent it to locals, or people who rent long-term can no longer rent short-term and can no longer flip, so they rent to long-term tenants. Last year, a new policy was introduced. That is, if it is time to sell the house. Well, the buyer wants to increase the living period from 2 months to a certain number of months, let's say 4 months. But actually, 4 months, it's too long. Now it's changed back to 3 months. So, is this something that needs to be considered again? It takes 3 months to sell the house. So all these considerations have slowed down the action of buying a house. So it is not particularly clear now. As we just said, there will be more and more sellers. If the buyers don't keep up, if the investors don't come up, then the actual buyers may have absorbed all the houses in the next few months. Right. So, will there be new buyers coming in? That's a big question mark. Will there be an economic crisis? That's another question mark. So here, I want to remind everyone that if we're looking to buy a house, we can categorize buyers into 2 types. The first type is those who genuinely want to buy a home. Of course, you look at houses, and if you see a suitable one, you buy it, right? Because no matter if you are not investing, you will not flip. You don't want to do B&B. You will not rent it for a long time. And you will not do other things to make money. If you are buying a house for your family, children, schooling, or work, I suggest you keep looking because there are more and more houses available. So you can consider, if you want to sell your house this year, do it as early as possible. Because when there are not so many people competing with you on the whole street, you should get in early. I checked today and there are 234 units. Last year, there were 200 units. So you see, the number of houses will definitely increase. If you want to sell, you should list it earlier. If you're thinking about testing with your price, we haven't seen a clear direction yet. So far this year, I would say it won't be a straightforward situation if you're looking to make a big profit or sell at a high price. If you're looking to push upwards in this phase, meaning if the market is going down and then up, I estimate that this year, we probably won't see a significant upward trend. There might be a slight increase or it could level off, depending on the negotiation between buyers and sellers. So, what exactly is the situation? This month, we see that the inventory level is at 3.78, which indicates a seller's market, but it's already leaning towards balance. In a balanced market, home prices tend to be stable. Okay, speaking of buyers, what's this phenomenon of a 30% increase this month compared to last month? Does that mean a lot of buyers are coming in feeling anxious and ready to buy? If we look at the average over 10 years, it's still lower than the 10-year average. In other words, even though it has increased by 31% over the 10 years, selling 53 units in a month is still considered low. Although it's better than in 2023, it's still low. So what do you all think about this? Is it time to buy a house or sell a house? Or are you a seller wondering if now is the right time to sell? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. Let's chat again. Bye.